grand rising, grand evening, whatever time it is for you. So full moon energies can be very, very intense. It is a time to release. It is a time to transmit. Don't be surprised if the past reemerges for a time to try to reattach. Futile attempts at pulling you back into old cycles, into old timelines, into old paradigms of pain, scarcity, suffering, abuse, lack, but most importantly, old cycles of unawareness, cycles of the blind leading the blind. I want you to know that these are simply echoes, because you're not the same person you were when you walked away, when you closed out those cycles and stepped into the cycle you are currently in. You're not the same person that you were when you removed your energy and removed the access to you. You know now who is safe and who is unsafe. You know who to give access to your energy to, and who, in doing so, would be a detriment. Things like emotional blackmail, veiled threats, Pharisee, gaslighting, truth omissions, wordplay, manipulations, plastic smiles that hide rage and disdain, and futile attempts to reattach and regain domination and control over your life, over your essence, over your livelihood, over your peace. These are things that you can now spot from miles away. You are stronger, wiser, balanced, aware, connected, and protected. You've turned your pain into purpose. War that you didn't wage into wisdom. So as these things reemerge, observe them, don't absorb them. There's no need to engage. There's no need to give these echoes from these past timelines that you've stepped out of and closed out even an ounce of your energy to anyone or anything that you have had to survive through and heal from. See it, surrender it back to source with love, with acceptance, and with the energy of finality for transmutation and alchemization into the highest vibrational light of love, truth, and awareness to be redistributed amongst the collective. Because really, I think that the biggest motivator for a lot of the experiences that we've collectively had, it's been driven by unawareness, detachment. And so instead of sending these types of energies tit for tat, sending energy back to a person or a place, a situation or an environment, I suggest that you surrender it back to God, back to source, for transmutation and alchemization and redistribution. Because if we had more individuals who were aware of self and aware of other, we would have a lot less suffering and a lot less people, subconscious drivers and wounds, causing them to express that outwardly onto the collective and the environments that their presence sits in. So that's just my own personal suggestion, send it up for transmutation, maybe not back, because then it can just be sent back to you, right? And I think it's due time for these energies, instead of ping-ponging within the collective, to be alchemized and transmuted for the highest good of self and other. I think I've said this in another video, but there's nothing that I want for others that I don't also want for myself. And while the expression, so things like truth, justice, balance, and awareness, the way that it's expressed and experienced is going to differ from fractal to fractal. It depends on the intention and energy that that specific fractal is sitting in. You can give the energy of truth, balance, and justice to someone who is moving from a very wounded, unintegrated, place of unawareness, who are committing crimes and causing harm and being predatory and abusive. And when they receive truth, justice, and balance, it might look like them sitting with themselves in a cage, so that they, so that all distractions are removed and they're only left with themselves. And hopefully, they can reconnect with self and source and God. And sometimes that's how that pans out. Now you take another person who is exuding and holds the intention of love, light, truth, and balance. When they receive justice, balance, temperance, and fairness, it's going to be expressed and experienced a lot differently. It's going to be the light potential, it's going to be a more comfortable and a more enjoyable expression. Whereas the other individual who holds the other intention, it might be a very painful, transformative experience. Both are out of love. Transformation and transmutation. Transformation is a very raw, painful, destructive process. And so sometimes, in order for people to transform, ascend, alchemize, to see themselves, to connect with themselves, just like a seed, they have to break open and then have to go against all this density, of the soil until they reach that light, the sun, the truth within themselves, So that's just a side note. Discernment is key. Do not allow anyone or anything to disturb your peace, your safety, or your new timeline that you have stepped into and that you have earned. Those those burdens and those crosses, they're not yours to bear. Only light, love, truth, and safety may enter your field. And that's an intention that I'm sending out for all of you. Only light, love, safety, and truth may enter your field. And as you step into these new cycles and these new timelines, the only thing that can come with you is what is aligned with your highest timeline for the highest good of yourself, but also for the highest good of other. I am sending you all so much love to the universe and beyond. Bye.